So, we got a couple things here. Before we go into anything, I know there's like a bunch of bugs right now regarding Silent Heart move stacking and sliding being off. Those are all bugs. They're gonna get fixed. So I'm not super concerned about them, but they are annoying. They are pretty annoying. What I wanted to talk about, a few things here. First off, the main thing, yeah, for a while now, I know that they never really liked Condition Runner. Honestly, a lot of sustain they don't really fuck with. The Bloodless gems too. And so for starters, Condition Runner honestly just straight up reworked. This is just because it gives you so much insane sustain that anyway, Condition Runner reworked. So instead, it's just 25% increased speed buffs, which is wind gen, fast play dodge challenge, which makes it actually pretty solid. I actually think this is actually still pretty strong. 25%, like I said, very, very powerful in my opinion. If you're trying to go behind block, for example, really good with wind gem and certain other, wind buffs. How we're gonna heal in fights? Fights are gonna last since another wants to be glass cannons. Actually, it's good that you discussed that because I actually bring that up as well. But yeah. Condition Runner, I just think it's just been very, very clutched upon and very relied upon. You're not supposed to be healing that. You're not supposed to be getting that much sustain just from running in general. And like I said, I do think it's just been a problem. I think alongside a couple other things, but yeah, I think that's like the biggest one for sure. Next up, we have both base stroke grab, wind up. It's actually very quick, right? Spits, healing reduced by 50%. Cooldown increased by 5 seconds. This is not removing the healing, but honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Whenever they pulled it, they wanted to remove spit healing, but they wanted to ask first, and now they didn't want. They said the community said that they didn't want spits removed, healing removed. So I think this is just another way to give the devs what they want. Just reduce it by a bit and increase the cooldown a bit as well. Anyway. Also, just the Saint Sworn nerf as well. Saint Sworn's actually really powerful. Should probably get like another nerf or two. But this is just one of the abilities. Wheel and Woe buff, obviously. We have Bloodless cooldown increased to 6 seconds and Bloodless cap gem not working. This is also a big thing on This is another big thing on sustainability being very powerful alongside Condition Runner. I've used this a lot in my ganks on my flame build, for example. And there are a couple of things where you can heal multiple instances of less than 15, which is the cap, 15 health to multiple people. So for example, if you have like a flame repulsion and it deals like, if it heals you 13 hit per player hit, you can hit 3 players and heal 39 HP in 1 hit. That's a big bug. And on top of that, Bloodless cooldown in general, I think just needs to be increased. Like I said, you can ask Archmage, and if he could go back in time, he would remove Bloodless gem from the game. But he knows that's controversial and he can't just do that. But he does not like Bloodless gem. And I can't blame him. I do think overall sustain has caused a lot of problems. Damage multiplier cap reduced. So this is to the guy saying, well, what about builds that are no. Damage cap multiplier reduced to 1.5 and soft cap. This is to counter those builds that are just gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna make a glass cannon. Nerf the capabilities of those glass cannon builds. 50% is still a lot. A lot of people are like, well, what, a nerf? Yes, they should be nerfing the things that do a lot of damage. I'll read the donation in a second. Let me continue the app. But 50% is still a lot. Like, for example, you can have a move that does 60 damage and it goes up to 90. Like, you know what I mean, right? There's like a heavy weapon that does 50 damage. Now it does 75 if you hit the cap, right? So I do think that overall, I think for a while, this has been actually one of the biggest things that we've been missing out on. Because a lot of people are like, dude, that does a bar, or that does so much damage. And it's a combination of being able to easily get up above 25% of damage. So for example, chat, Ishin's Ring plus Taunt, or Ring of Casters plus Taunt, that's already 35% HP. You know what I mean, right? Or 30% HP. Or 30% more damage that you're dealing with somebody. With a mantra. If I hit a Taunt on you, and I have Ring of Casters, that's 30% more damage I do, right? And that's not accounting for if I have Song Chant, high base damage moves, right? Things like mantra penetration. It's so easy to stack multipliers. And so on my build, I made a video on it. I drink a pot that gives me 30% more HP. I proc Taunt, and on top of that, I bring a Casters. That's 55% more damage. Very easily. It's not very hard to proc. You know what I mean, right? So just keep that in mind. people realize there's a reason why they're like, there's certain builds that just do so much fucking damage, and it's just because it's not that hard. There's builds that reach the cap. It's actually not that difficult. And so I think for a while, this has been one of the things that for a while has been needing a change. And then Return to the Dark Ages. This is just a nerf because I think with all this right here, you can argue that like some people be like, well, okay, like this will make no attunement so strong. And it's like no attunement, it's one of its biggest strengths is Return to the Dark Ages. And they also, a lot of no attunement builds benefit greatly from Bloodless. You don't realize it, but they really do, right? Because they have Return to the Dark Ages, it lowers their damage, right? And so you have to realize that no attunement is about landing the M1s, and the mantras are only there as assists. They're not really damage dealers, but because it deals less damage, it has more likely of a chance of not hitting the Bloodless cap. And so that's why people with Master's Flourish heal 28 health if they hit both. That's the thing people are not telling you. That's what makes it so nice to use Return to the Dark Ages, because it barely affects your healing, right? And on top of that, it reduces your total damage by 20%. And chat, remember, Bloodless already reduces your damage by 20%, right? So you have a no attunement build using Return to the Dark Ages, and on top of that, Bloodless. That's 20% stacking. It makes it way more likely for, there's a lot of moves that are like kind of like 2 hits, especially on like medium, right? Master's Flourish. People don't really do it on Twinkle, but you get what I'm saying. Rapid punches, etc. Right? That makes it super easy to build up the Bloodless. A lot of people don't realize this, but that's what I think. Like that combined with kits being very powerful, on top of Return to the Dark Ages, so they take less damage from attunements, makes them extremely tanky. And so, honestly, just keep in mind that these are pretty big no attunement nerfs as well, and I just want that to be recognized. On top of that. So yeah, like those are just like the main nerfs. I didn't want to do too many, right? Just like a few things are like kind of like unreactable at the moment, and just things that have just been for a while been causing issues for the game, right? I still think there's like a ton of things, chat, don't get it twisted. Like I said, kits being very powerful, people being able to get 570 HP, 55 fizz, that's an issue. But however, I think that's something that Archmage himself would need to address and tackle and take a look at, right? Because that's just like an entire system change up, honestly. Introducing a soft cap or something like that, that's not a light nerf. You know, that's changing up an entire system. And that affects a lot of people too. You can get 500 HP. I have like 540 HP high fizz. I can get like 530 HP, 50 fizz on my flame build. And that's a mage build with hella Bloodless. You see what I mean, right? So I do think, what's it called? Yeah, you've nerfed everything because of specific builds. That's just how it is, though. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And that's how it's always been. If you don't think nerfing isn't that, that's always how it's been. Things will get nerfed just because a specific build is so powerful. That's how it is, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. That's literally half the nerfs in Deepwoken's history. There's something that's like kind of used among a lot of people, then one specific guy knows how to really abuse it, and then it gets nerfed. That's Deepwoken the game. That's other games, literally, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to go click on these other videos, man. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.